Hi Stampers, it's Kim Vogel with the Basement Bunch Stampers, here for another terrific Tuesday video. Today I'm going to share with you some of the new product that's in our Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog. The product suite that I'm going to be showing you today is called Myths and Magic, and I love it. It's perfect for all of your juvenile kids' needs for making cards, treat favors, all of that sort of thing. And let me show you the product suite first, and then I'm going to go into how I made this card. So the product suite includes an awesome stamp set and coordinating framelits, as well as some really pretty washi tape, and I'm going to show you that here in just a moment. Once again, our catalog does not do that justice. And then in the bottom of this page is some awesome paper, and I'm going to show you that as well. And this is just so fun to play with. There's also some glitter paper available through this product suite that I will show you. And it's been a lot of fun to be making some cards with this. I'm going to be offering a class in March around this product suite, and I'm just now designing the cards for that class, which is why I have this card done to share with you today. And so I want to be able to show you kind of how I made this card, and I'm really going to be focusing in on our watercolor pencils. Some of my customers have asked me exactly how to use these, how to make it look nice and soft and subtle, and so I'm going to be showing you how to use these watercolor pencils, as that is what I use to color in this dragon. So before I get started, let me show you some of the product that I'm going to be using so you can kind of see it up close and personal. So the washi tape, I'll leave the card sit right here. The washi tape is really nice and pretty and sparkly. I'm hoping that you can see that on this video. The book does not show that sparkle, and it just looks so magical, which is I think what really adds to this card, is that you have this effect on here and the pretty glitter paper. So that is what the washi tape looks like. And the designer series paper, I'm going to show you here it as well, and it has a neat little sparkle to it as well. You can kind of see it on this dragon right here in the middle, I do believe, and each piece on this one side has a little bit of a sparkle to it, and I love how that looks like water. That would be really pretty to do a card like with the mermaids. Here you have some pretty unicorns with sparkle on them, and there are the mermaids as well, and some pretty stars. This reminds me of Disney. I just love that paper. And then here you have some wizards, which I think is really cool as well. Now, as with all of our paper, the other side it's double-sided, and the other side, let me flip it over here for you so you can see it. The other side does not have any of the sparkle, and it's more on the plain side, but still really pretty paper that you can coordinate and use with this product suite. So the two pieces of paper that I used today to make this card, I used the bubbly looking paper, and then I used one of the back sides. So this is the back of the unicorns, and those are the two that I made to create this card. So let's go ahead and get started making it. I started out with a piece of Pool Party cardstock. This is cut 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And then I cut a piece of the basic gray cardstock at 5 1/4 by 4, and I simply adhered that down. Let me bring in my sample so you can kind of see it as I put this card together. And I simply adhered that with a little bit of fast fuse. Again, if you haven't given this a chance, I really encourage you to do so, because it is phenomenal adhesive and it sticks really, really well. I then cut the two pieces of designer series paper to 4 by 3. They're both 4 by 3. And the reason why I chose 4 by 3 is because when you're using a 12 by 12 piece of paper, 4 by 3 is square, so you're going to get the maximum amount of these as you can out of a piece of paper with no waste whatsoever. And so what I did then is I simply kind of off-centered them. So I'm going to lay the blue one down first, again adding some snail to the middle and the four corners. And I kind of set that off at an angle. And then what I did is I glued this one down at another angle. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and add some of this washi tape to it. And so let me bring in the washi tape again. So this is some phenomenal tape. I love it. Let me make sure I can find the start to this one though. There it is. So what I did is I added some to the very bottom. And I kind of go like this when I'm adding it, and then I'm just going to wrap it around the edges. And the neat thing with our washi tape is that you can tear it, so you don't have to worry about getting your scissors out or anything like that. And then I went ahead and added the turquoise or the Bermuda Bay and white striped washi tape as well, tearing that. And then finally, I added the little sparkling, looks like dazzling diamond washi tape to the very top. And I'm going to also tear that. And then I'm just going to wrap this around the edges because no one's going to see this piece. It's going to be glued down to my card. So who cares if it got a little bit of messy look to the back? No one's going to see it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this down to the card as well at an angle like that. How pretty. And then what I did, I haven't shown you the glitter paper yet, but this glitter paper is awesome. It comes in 3 different colors. It comes in our lemon lime twist, our Bermuda Bay, and then our sparkling, like dazzling diamond. That might even be like a real light pink. I put my catalog away already, so I can't tell you the exact color of that. But this is $15, and you get like 8 sheets or 10 sheets of every single one of those. So it's a really good value. And what I did using our layering squares, I cut in advance one of the squares. And then this I laid down kind of the same way I laid down that blue paper. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And then what I'm going to do, I also used our layering squares and I cut out a little square with our basic gray. Now these you can use any of the sizes that you want. It doesn't really matter which one you use. But with this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some glue dots because I have problems sometimes with having this regular adhesive adhere to my glitter paper. So I use glue dots in the 4 corners to glue that down, and usually it stays pretty darn good for me. So now I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to work on our little dragon. So what I've done in advance before I started doing this video today is I went ahead and I stamped the dragon out of our, with our stamp set, and I cut it out with one of the Magical Mates framelits. That's a bundle that you can get in the catalog together. And then what I did, using our watercolor pencils, I'm using the Bermuda Bay and I'm using the basic gray. And what you're going to do, and this is where I think some people get a little too, I shouldn't say hung up, but worried in how the color is going to look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the basic gray. And I'm hoping you can see this okay on my video. But all I'm doing is going in circular motions and adding some gray to his head. And you can see I'm not even filling that all in very easily, or very much I should say. I'm just kind of adding the gray color where I want. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in with, let me bring that in so you can see. So you can kind of see I haven't really filled that in completely. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in with our blender pen. And our blender pens come in a package of 3 for $10. These are in our annual catalog. And our watercolor pencils are designed to be blended like this. So what I'm going to do is come in here and I'm just going to softly go on top of all of the color that I've already put down on this dragon. And again, in circular motion, I'm going to kind of color him in and get that color to look nice and soft and subtle. Can you see the difference that made? And so what you can do is you can do all of the gray at once if you want, which is what I'm going to do right here. Again, you can see I'm just kind of going in a circular motion. I'm not even making sure I have that filled in completely. I'm just kind of adding the color to this. And you're going to see this dragon come to life. If you haven't checked me out on my Facebook page, I encourage you to do so. I have a sign up button on my Facebook page at Kim Vogel's Basement Bunch Stampers to receive free tutorials on Friday, and those tutorials are exclusive to anybody on my mailing list. If you also go to kimsbasementbunch.com, and I have that address in the both the description of this video for this blog post as well as text here on my video, you will be able to sign up there as well to receive those free tutorials. And yeah, last week it was 2 free cards that I posted, and I'm just giving ideas of how to use some of our products in our catalog. And so far those have been really well received, so I strongly encourage you to give that a try. So with that, I'm going to continue coloring in this dragon. So you can kind of see where I have not done the blending and where I have. So that is kind of how these watercolor pencils work. And I really like them for being able to give a nice subtle color versus trying to color with markers. Sometimes the markers are too bold and you really can't see the outline of your image. And at that point, it just looks like it's a big blob. You really can't tell the detail of it. Now, since I have all of the gray done and I want to move on to the other color, what I'm going to do is on a scrap of paper, I'm just going to kind of rub my blender pen to make sure I get all that gray color out of my marker. And then I'm going to continue on with blending in this Bermuda Bay as well. And when I get this all done, I'm just going to adhere that to the top of my card like I did here. And I adhered that with some dimensionals. And I'm not going to take the time to finish that because I think you kind of get the idea of how those work. But I hope that this encourages you to give those watercolor pencils a try. A lot of times people think that when they get them, there's going to color and it's going to look beautiful. But I can tell you that every time I've used them, I've blended with those blender pens and I've fallen in love with them and love them even more. So they come in a package of, I believe it's 10. Or maybe it's 12, I think it's 12. You get different colors, and they're in our annual catalog, and I will list this as well in the description for the price and in the text of my video, because I don't have it at the moment. But they're really a nice way of coloring to give you some good, soft, subtle looks. So anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video today, and that you look for this class to be posted on my website in the coming weeks. I'm still designing them, so I don't have them all done yet. But I then topped the card off with the saying, "Hope your day is magical." And what I did is I adhered that to the card using Stampin' Dimensionals, and I just did a little bit of fussy cutting around the image and adhered it down here to the bottom. And that is how I created that card. So thank you for stopping today. I hope this has encouraged you to look at this suite a little bit in more detail. The sparkle and shine of it is not very visible in the catalog, but it's so fun and so pretty to use. So thanks for stopping today. I look forward to sharing another project with you next week. Have a great day.